Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Thursday, right? Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. February 14th. Don't worry, guys. I do know today is Wednesday. I got it. We're good to go. It is Wednesday, February 14th, and it's Valentine's Day, by the way. Don't forget that one. It is Valentine's Day. Well, this is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart and the altcoin market. We also take a peek over there at the United States stock market as it gets set to open up here in the next 1 minute, coming off of a crazy day over there in the stock market yesterday. Dow closed down 524, NASDAQ down 282. It's got a bounce back happening this morning. We'll also take a peek over there at precious metals like gold and, of course, the DXY, the US dollar currency index, following it up with any type of financial news or crypto news to get our day kicked off. Unfortunately, it's a very boring day over here in the markets, so we're just going to keep it really short and really brief. Just kidding. We are almost at the 702 Fibonacci retracement level for the Bitcoin price chart. If you actually look over at the market cap, oh my, 101 or 1.01 trillion, just above the 702 over here on the market cap, with Bitcoin still slightly below. What a time to be alive. I don't know about you. Today, it's just been this like huge reflection day, looking back on what like the last year and a half have been like. I've been going back and watching some videos from right down in here. There's a video, the first trading day of 2023 when we were down in here and we were looking for the reversal to come out of there. All the talks of the 702, of the retracements coming in, and all the fights we had to fight to get back to here, and people screaming it could never happen. And, to see it up here, it's another thing, right? It's another thing to live in it. And it's another thing to see all the excitement and all the euphoria out there on Twitter at the same time. And then anticipating that I'd get painted as the bad guy once we got here too. And, all that stuff. And, just know, Bitcoiners, I'm cheering for you to get through, dude. It would absolutely pump my bags to the literal stratosphere. But, we get back here, and of course, it's all the caution and everything like that. But to see it actually here after all this time and that we spent and worked and fought, and how many videos and live streams we've done Markets in the Morning now for a year, right? Something like that. Hundreds of videos, hundreds of live streams to finally get back to this level. And it's absolutely amazing to see it back up in here. So we're at $51,851 over here for Bitcoin. The $1 million question is, of course, will we see it react here in these retracement levels, or will we see it go into a further distribution structure happening in here? So that's what we're what we've been talking about. It's what we're kind of watching and waiting on. I'm still just going to continue to remain that caution in here while we sit at the retracement levels, especially below that 702 right in there. But boy, here we go. It's the moment of truth to find out, are we going to get more out of this market, or do we go into a further distribution happening in here? But with all that green over there on the side of the board, who couldn't be having a good day today? Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my
All right. So what else is exciting to see over there happening in the market right now? Of course, we've got the break happening there on the altcoin market too. So we've been stuck in that sign of strength phase there ever since early December. We've been there for almost 2.5 months. We've got the break there. It's what we talked about on Monday's video happening in there. It's what we talked about in the video prior to that as well with gold and looking for these things to go. So it seems like we are in the phase now of the market moving up. The things that we talked about in Monday's video were in the event that if we do go into distribution like this right in here, that we would be looking for that total altcoin market cap to exceed those heights in there, right? Catch Monday's video if you have not watched Monday's video. But in the event that we do end up getting some type of ABC correction happening for Bitcoin, like right in here, what we historically see is something more along the lines of really we just kind of come back and back test. And there's not a whole lot that comes out of this move right here. It's the moves after that where the bigger moves end up coming in, where the bigger move and then the bigger move ends up happening into those types of phases, as you can see like right in here, right? That you don't really get a whole lot out of this particular move right in here, right? But it's the following ones. It's the euphoria. And so you have to say to yourself, when do these altcoins tend to rip? When do these market caps tend to rip? It's when the market's in euphoria. Go look on Twitter. Is it in euphoria? For sure. For sure. If the Bitcoin price moves up by $1,000, it's every $1,000 level is celebrated over there on Twitter. Unlike, each one that we moved up prior to that. But now they're very celebrated. They get thousands of likes. They're super excited. And that's great. Those are the things you want to see in this market. That's what leads to a ridiculous amount of excitement. So now it's just to wait and watch. Is this thing going to give, put egg on my face and it go up higher? If it does go higher than that, I won't have a clear read on Bitcoin beyond those levels. Not right now. But if it goes into distribution happening in here, we have a pretty dang good read on what's going on in the market at this time. Some of the things that I think about, like when it comes to magical unicorn fairy dust or puppet masters pulling the puppet strings, God, or a simulation. Do we actually live in a real life simulation? Is things that we talk about quite often. And confluence of events that they end up happening, that Bitcoin gets right back to the 702 retracement at the exact time the NASDAQ gets to its 4.236, which is based off the 2000 bubble, and at the exact same time that the Dow Jones is getting to its 4.236 based off the great financial crisis in 2007. And just those confluence of events all occurring at the exact same time. How does it happen? Is it written into the universe somehow? What is it that does it? I don't know. Why does everybody scream Doomtown at the bottom, and why does everybody scream Moontown in the retraces? I don't know how it all happens, but it does. But it's one of those things we're just kind of keeping our eyes on right now. Still, this is my base case in here that this is going to go on. But I think the exciting part of all of this is to see the altcoin market starting to escape too, because this corroborates what we were talking about in the last two videos that I've put out for the last 2 weeks. So last week's video when it came to gold, in this week's video when it came to talking about the altcoin market cap, that we have now gotten the escape happening there for the altcoin market. Absolutely amazing to see it. So that was a long little sign of strength phase happening in there. Nice to finally get out. Looks like even time wise, yeah, look, right on time for it to occur. There we go. That's about how long you spend in those things. There you go. You're out. Hip hip hooray. All right, moving on. Ethereum sitting at 2,765. Brian, I haven't bring back the word dingus. I haven't used that in a while. All right, Ethereum, $2,765. Also breaking above that level up in there. It's great. XRP trying to fight to get back above, right? So these are the things we've talked about in here. If there's a time as any for it to go, this is the appropriate time in the market. And everybody loves the flip of the switch stuff. They love the secrets upon plans upon plans. But if there's times for things to happen, it's for structures to show up. It's for the altcoin market to get going. It's for all of these events to have their confluences at the same time. And we're living and breathing in it. Let's get a go. Let's go. As for the United States stock market, absolutely crazy day yesterday. So we saw the Dow down. It's 750 points at one point yesterday. It had gotten, let's go measure that really quick. At one point, it was within 0.4 of the roaring 20s and within 0.71% of its 4.236 extension. I showed this over there on Twitter yesterday. This one is fascinating because this is the E-mini 100 NASDAQ futures right here. And this one hit it right on the button before yesterday's big move in there. And what's crazy is you look at the daily candle in there, the daily candle pinpoint hits it. You go down to the 4-hour candle, you go down to the 1-hour candles, look at the 1-hour candles hitting this thing, go down to the 15-minute candles. The 15-minute candles don't even close above the thing. And then a strong hit off of there. So something to keep in mind. And I think what I'm going to do today, and unfortunately it's kind of difficult because it's Valentine's Day and there's a lot of stuff going on. I have a video that we're going to talk about, and we're going to kind of play it and talk about all these things and how we ended up getting here and the journey we had to go through to get to that, and how the market has really behaved really as it should have. But now we're kind of getting to those points where all these confluence things are happening. So distribution happening in here. And don't get it confused, Bitcoiners. I'm cheering for you. I don't ever like to play the enemy. I don't ever like to play the villain, ever. If this is really just trying to be like, wake up a little bit. Remember I was back in here, I'd do the thing. I'd be like, wake up, wake up. It's not going to 12K. Wake up. Like I'm shaking you. It's one of those things up in here too. Everybody's super excited. Wake up, wake up. And percentages matter. And to really focus on those percentages. I saw somebody post over there on Twitter, we're going to 200K. And I'm like, dang, man, that would be awesome to go to 200K, which I don't think we're going to. But even if we did, the math on 200K from right here is 300%. Could you imagine what the altcoin market would do in that situation? And that 300% would actually be the literal worst performer of the market. And I don't think people ever do that math when they're trying to think about that stuff. So I'm cheering for you, man. Go get your 200K Bitcoin. I have no interest in chasing 300% to 200K. The rest of this market would go absolutely ballistic in that type of circumstance. So I'm very happy with where I'm positioned in the market. However, this is going to be the main thing really watching out for right now in the market until proven otherwise. Again, we saw the market cap of Bitcoin poke above that 702 over there. We're still shy over there on the price chart. So we'll keep our eyes on it. And yeah, it just such a long fight, man. Such a long fight to get back there. Unbelievable that we're here. For those who were here the whole ride, it is there. It's there, man. Crazy. All right. Looking over there at altcoins to see if we could sort these things out. The leaders of the day are ADA, ICP, AVAX, Solana, IOTA, Ethereum, NEAR, DOT, Mana, Ironic, all of them top development coins, right? XRP, there you go, trying to get its move, but still unwilling to take its stab. Again, stock market was nuts yesterday. It was down over 700 points for the Dow, over 300 for the NASDAQ, but it closed itself a little bit better. The Dow closed down about 527, and the NASDAQ closed down 282. A little bit of a bounce back happening in here, but still caution on just the grand big picture of where we're at right now with these indexes and where they're at right now. It's very normal for everybody to get super, super mega bullish on everything when we get back to retracements like this, and when we get back up to these levels in here. So just keep a cool head, right? Wake up, right? Shaking you, wake up. Not to be your friends on Twitter that you hoot and holler with, that you scream, "Yay, we're all gonna make it." Those people aren't real in your life, right? This is the stuff that's real in your life. Don't The camaraderie on Twitter is very temporary. Pay attention to yourself. You know what I mean? Okay, there you go. DXY, looking for that turn down. So like, pretty exciting to see that, we're finally getting to this phase where we've been looking for, and to see us start to finally get this move happening over here in total two. So a little bit of confluence happening in there, hoping this thing kind of rounds itself out, and then we go for the big move. The reason why we've even had this, or this has been on here every day for a month and a half, has been for this particular phase to happen in here. And if you don't know that about 2021, the vast majority of all the moves in the market all came in this particular phase right in here. This was not a big dramatic phase for the crypto market. It all actually happened right in here. This was the whole market, and then it was over. So like, here's November, here's December. Bitcoin breaks its all-time high in December. Altcoin market, everything. Then here you are in May and June, and it's over. It was all in that little phase happening in there, not in the whole move down, unlike what we saw during this one back in here. We saw a whole lot more action happening all throughout here, unlike in 2020 and 2021. It all took place in here. This thing was falling. Crypto is just a whatever thing. Then we get down in here, and all the chaos erupts in here. So hopefully that is still the case that we have happening in here, and that's why we've been following it. And yeah, once we got there, that's where I would definitely be like, all right, I got nothing left. I got nothing. I can't paint any pictures at this point. The DXY has gotten where I thought it was. The Nasdaq's gotten where I thought it was. Bitcoin, if you're in full-blown distribution at that point, there you go. If total 2 does like we showed with gold, and it just goes flying up in here and then stalls out with all those things, that'll be pretty much the point where I say, all right, I got nothing. That's it. All right. There you go. Gold still sitting up there at 1991, still up here near the highs, and it's lost that $2,000 level, but still just hovering up here near the top of the whole range. And that's one of the things that should leave you scratching your head on why gold is still sitting so high if this was a true breakout in the United States stock market. Otherwise, there you go. Bitcoin 51,757. Total 2 gets out. Thank God. We won't credit the simulation on that one. We're going to credit God on that one. There you go. XRP. Just a overall great day to be here, and to feel some vindication for what we went through for a year and a half there for Bitcoin to get back to these levels. Everybody wants more. I cheer for you to get it. This is the idea I had for all that time, and we're here. So good luck to those who take the gamble to go higher. As you all know, for Bitcoin, I can't. For distribution here at this, I am taking the gamble over here on that altcoin market. All right, there we go. Let's hop on into the news. Stock futures rise after Dow suffers worst session since March of 2023. Lyft shares up 20% in pre-market trade, retaining some gains after a forecast error. Yeah, apparently they had something absolutely insane in their stuff, and the price went up 100% or something, then crashed and took it all back because they had to correct it. All right, craziness with Lyft. AI is shaking up online dating with chatbots that are flirty, but not too flirty. Mortgage rates surge higher again, causing home buyers to pull back. Like, really? They've already gotten that data in one day? Okay. Here are Wednesday's biggest analyst calls. What are we doing? We need more frog.
It is Wednesday, my It is Wednesday.
Let us go. You know, one person I use to give me a lot of predictions is Oscar Hernandez. He actually is very accurate at predicting the number of people that we have in the stream. For those who are here regularly, I know we have 3,500. That's quite a big number. Usually around like 2,000, 2,500. Whenever we reach extremes, we typically will have a much bigger crowd come in during that time. It's not that huge of a crowd of like, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, 3,500 people is a ridiculous amount of people. If you put me on stage in front of 3,500 people, I'll probably have a panic attack and pass out. But if it's just a computer screen number, it's okay. But like he had predicted 4,500 to 5,000, and that's a pretty good sign to see it's only at 3,500. We've actually been able to start being like, yeah, this is a reversal if there's too many people in the actual chat. So with 3,500 people, we're at 864 likes, and I've been playing this frog like crazy. Let's cross the 1,000, guys. It's the #1 way to support the channel. I appreciate it all very much, you guys. All right, we already went through CNBC. Let's head on over to Bloomberg. Stock futures reclaim solid ground after inflation miss. Money-drenched credit markets withstand even hotter U.S. inflation. The Errors Tour. Oh, God. Are they playing off? They're playing off of Taylor Swift there. How the pros bungled the end of zero interest rates. The most costly investment mistake you can make is easy to avoid. Ukraine says its drones hit Russian warship in Black Sea. Ukraine reinforced. Okay, that's war. We get so much war stuff from Bloomberg. A clerical error in Lyft outlook triggered 67% stock jump. Yep. Trump on pace to drain legal funds by July with only 27 million left. Yale weighs bringing back SATs after Dartmouth MIT reversal. Israel is hit by a missile. Okay. How about we move over to crypto? All right. CEO of Ripple-owned blockchain custody firm Metco steps down. That's a hot story. Yeah, we'll go through hot stories. Watch out, ERC 404. There's another hybrid NFT standard in town. Bitcoin trades above 50K again, but it's very different this time. Bitcoin soaring past 50K without retail FOMO and high leverage is good for Bitcoin. Crypto super app with account abstraction. Plena joins Cointelegraph Accelerator. EU committee green lights world's first AI legislation. Bitcoin bulls flirt with 69K Bitcoin price target as crypto market nears 2 trillion. Coinbase is going to win. Meta Lawman, ex-Hall of Fame. Dude, Meta Lawman. Hey! Front page Telegraph of Cointelegraph, brother. Look at you, dude. That's an XRP community, dude. Bitcoin ETFs see high volume. Binance delists Monero, and ARK plans staking Ethereum. Hodler's Digest. Scam as a service. New Solana drainers are identified. So we got nothing in here outside of just talking about price. So we go $52,000 for Bitcoin. All eyes on those retracement levels to see how we get a reaction in here. Let's ask the chat. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to stop or is it going to through 702? Yes? No. We're going to ask the chat. Will we get through the 702? Yes or no? We're going to run the chat. We're going to run the poll for 1 minute. Ooh. Mixed. 50-50. Crazy. 50-50. That is tight. Wow. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. A long fought battle to get back here. Now the decision of the market awaits us for the reaction. The things that we have of concern up in here, of course, is the stock market hovering up in here at these levels while we are there with Bitcoin. Fortunately, we do at least have the altcoin market leaving its sign of strength phase right now. All right, let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, we're going to end the poll right now. We're at 667 votes, 52% yes, 48% no. That is tight. There you go. All right, hopping into the chat. Here we go. Eric Martinson gifted 1 BCB membership. Brother, thank you very, very much, Eric, my man. He says, what a time to be alive, because I sent him that message earlier today. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, all, and happy Valentine's Day. Hit that like button. All right, look, if you haven't gotten your Valentine's Day stuff yet, do not be that guy who does it after work at 5:30 p.m., gets the leftovers. Go on your lunch break, bro. Go on your lunch break. Follow the Fiat said the intro should be lit. I don't know. Was it? I called it Thursday. Taylor McLaughlin, XRP dominance is at a multi-year trend line. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big trend line guy. Thank you, brother. Kashav Lakshman, total 2 over XRP is closer to 702 retrace on the daily. Yeah, we'll see if there's going to be like a spark that gets lit on a rotational thing. I mean, we're at a moment where something like that could happen. Bitcoin hit the 1 trillion market cap, says Christopher Man 1. Thank you. Sandal says, is moon just around the corner? ? That's a when moon. Ryan Chase, I'm bringing back the word dingus because I haven't heard it in a while. Calling all dingai. Yeah. Essentially, you have to embrace your inner dingai when we're in the depths of despair, right? That's the trick of the trade. I saw somebody post once, you got to be stupid enough to buy it, but smart enough to sell it. How's Ethereum doing? Ethereum at 2761. Total 2 out. Total 3 you out too, right? You're at the peak, huh? No, you're out. There you go. Total 3's out. Let's go. So that one doesn't include Ethereum. Boom. Okay. JB Heavy Equipment Services Inc. says, hey, BCB, considering HBAR's 94% drawdown and the high inflation, would you assume that HBAR only retraces? Thanks and happy Wednesday, my dudes. I don't recall the inflation rate. What is the inflation rate of HBAR right now? And it would seem likely HBAR would only retrace, right? If you've been a holder since the very top of HBAR, you've been absolutely decimated by the inflation of HBAR. So, yeah, it seems like it would be pretty darn difficult for it to be able to get into a new all-time high, right? Because it's done hundreds of percents of inflation over the last several years. So that would probably, now it's only 9%, right? Is that what you're saying? 9%, Zach? I believe that. I believe that to be true. Like 9% is a fine inflation rate now. Like if that's what your current rate is right now, 9% is fine. Like there was a whole newsletter that I had written that was focusing on percentage drawdowns. And then there was a whole one written on inflation rates, which I, of course, named it terribly because everybody's sick of hearing the word inflation, but it was pertaining to circulating supply inflation and how the coins with higher circulating supply inflation and how that impacted their percentage returns in 2021. And if it was too much, you saw much lower percentages. And if it was too little, it didn't really matter, but there was kind of a sweet spot, really like kind of between like 5 and 15%. But if it has had hundreds of percent of inflation over the course of the last several years, like, so that's the problem. That's the big problem with HBAR, right? Is that structurally, these are like the same things, right? Like it's the same time period happening in here, right? Right? That's the same time period. But the price is way down here, whereas this price is sitting way up here, right? So that's like the H bar should be like August of 2021. It'd be like right here. So inflation alone, right? And it's above that, right? So it's like right above that. So inflation alone has damaged H bar by about 67 to 70%. So the losses have been taken on H bar for its actual hodlers, the people who own the token and are not getting staking rewards, but they're just keeping it like on Coinbase or something like that. You've lost 70%, not because of the network value decreasing, but due to inflation. So it does have an uphill battle to fight because H bar essentially has to climb 100%, 200% just to get to where it should be due to inflation. So it's got challenges for sure. Doesn't mean it can't. It doesn't mean it won't have a good run, and it doesn't mean it can't go to all-time high. I mean, it's 609% in crypto in 2021. That would have been a bottom tier performer. 609% would be a bottom tier performer in 2021. The average was 699% for the top 100. And so that number's kind of in line with that. We don't know what 2024's numbers are going to be. But in 2021, if we're going to say, is this number outrageous? Not compared to 2021's numbers, which were the top 100 average 699, the top 20 average 742, and the top by development activity over 2,000. Pay attention. Okay. Thank you, JB. M. Mally 86. Can you shout out to my wife Naveen for Valentine's Day? Naveen, happy Valentine's Day. Although you should be the one telling her, not me. Gaining value. Hit the like button, people. This guy is a legend. Gaining value. Thank you very much. Thank you, brother. Philip Mann gifted a BCB membership. Thank you, Philip. Hans Loaded, member for 8 months. Smash the like button. 3,600 people, 1,200 likes. Stakes at 135. I think I'm a patient person, but are we ever going to get full extent on XRP? Do it right today, gents. Robes and stakes. I sure hope so. Stakes at 135. Ryan Chase, happy Singles Awareness Day. Oh. You can take yourself out on a really nice date. Have some nice food, come home, watch a movie, treat yourself to some alone time. Have a great day. All right, Philip Mann, member for 8 months. We made it backer. Happy Valentine's Day to all the fam that's been here throughout it all. Have a wonderful day, people. Yeah, we're here. Unreal. It's actually here. Gator gifted 5 BCB memberships. Thank you very much, Gator. Texas Takeover, member for 10 months. When Daddy getting paid? Thank you, Texas. Daniel Wall, the man, the myth, the legend, the chart guru. Thank you for your consistency and for sharing your gift with the world. Daniel, thank you very much. Now, we got a lot on here. Dang, I'm way behind. I didn't realize it. Stakes at 135. BCB, when model portfolio? I don't know what that means. Brandon Hammond, could you explain how the ETFs would be dumping on retail? I don't understand the mechanism. Aren't they consistently buying Bitcoin at the moment? Okay. Ask yourself this. Is the ETF buying Bitcoin? And where are they sourcing their Bitcoin from? Who do you think is the one providing the Bitcoin to them? Are they going to spot exchanges and buying Bitcoin? Who's the provider of the BlackRock ETF? JP Morgan. Where are they getting the Bitcoin? Do you think they didn't have buddies? Do you think they didn't have any locked away? To be like, here's our great chance to put this Bitcoin that we've had, BlackRock as the buyer. Retail goes to BlackRock, buys ETF. They've got money. BlackRock says we need more Bitcoin in here. So here's all this retail money that we've got. JP Morgan, can you get us the Bitcoin? Sure, no problem. Let me grab some from my vault that I've had for a couple of years, and let me go ahead and put it into your ETF and accept retail's money in exchange. That's how. They're not going to spot markets to buy it. It's the sleight of hand. But thank you, Brandon. Me, Jules, Company. Good morning, BCB. Can ADA get to $11 if it hits a full extension? I do believe it's somewhere around there. If it went full extension, it would be $11. Jack, I sold 60% of my XRP. I'm feeling some 2019 EOS vibes with the XRP community. I hope I regret this and everyone here who wins. Holding a cash position currently. Happy Wednesday. I don't remember EOS ever having any like community, right? However, I have been through phases of negativity in the XRP community, and those and when price action is down and negativity is happening, those are better signs than not. It's always when everybody's super optimistic, the price just keeps going down, and then it's when everybody is absolutely just pessimistic as can possibly be, shoots right back up, and all of them come roaring back, right? So typically, it's an opposite thing. When the XRP community is hooting and hollering, that's the time to be cautious. Whenever they're very pessimistic, it's turned around. And that's not just XRP community. That is everything, right? I mean, that was Bitcoin the whole time. How pessimistic were people about Bitcoin to 12K, 20K, 26K, whatever it is, whatever number you want to come up with, revisiting the lows. It didn't matter. The pessimism didn't matter. Price went against them, right? Price gets higher, they all jump back in. Now we're never coming down, right? We'll see. We're at the retraces. But pessimism with prices being down isn't necessarily a bad thing. And that's probably why you're getting the cheap prices in the first place, because of the pessimism. Terrence Rafferty, if you were charting Taylor Swift's popularity, will she reach another all-time high or just a 702 retracement? That was probably peak Taylor Swift. That was probably bubble pop peak Taylor Swift. Don't know. But that was probably her. That was probably as big as it could ever get. And it has popped. But thank you, Jack. Jim Gaines gifted 1 BCB membership. Jim, thank you very much. Free Kip gifted 5 BCB memberships. Free Kip, thank you. The Fonz, hey BCB, I've been watching you for a while now. Thanks for everything you do. Do you believe XRP will break all-time high this cycle? It's got to get moving, right? We're all waiting, man. If the thing can take off and go, then we have things to talk about, right? So like the thing that I'm going to be watching for is just a confluence with the rest of the market. If we end up getting this distribution happening in here, and we're in something like that right there, where Bitcoin has distributed, and then it's even done another 702 retracement into distribution, wherever XRP is at, that's just where it's at, right? And if that's an all-time high, fantastic. If that's a 786 retracement, if that's a full 4.236 extension, We need to see some price action. I've been here with you guys too, man. I've been in this thing for 6 years. Has it been? No, it's been. No, sold it, bought it, 26. Yeah, almost 5.5 years, right? I've been here too. It just hasn't done anything significant. So I've been spending this year trying to scream from the rooftops, and I'm going to. Like, we're only in February. It ain't stopping. I'm going here, XRP Gold Coast. I'm flying to Australia to say, hey, these are some things we need to work on, right? So for those who think I'm just fudding, I've paid $4,000 for airplane tickets for me to go do this thing. Okay, there are things that we have to work on. There's things that we have to do, and they just need to be brought to light. And give me some of that stuff, and I'll start being more optimistic on just everything. Like, enough with the conspiracies. Enough. Let's do actionable stuff as a community. Let's build. Let's put pressure. All right. Nazario Navarro. I went on an AI date. And by the way, I'm not going up here to throw fit. I'm not going up here. I'm presenting a bunch of data. There's a link in the description of this live stream and my videos too, guys, for this thing, for the XRP Gold Coast 2024. I'm going to be talking about stuff in here. I'm giving a presentation to discuss the data. What it says about the developers, what it says about user activity levels, and how that impacted the historical behavior of the market between 2017 to 2021 and here into 2024, and how those metrics impacted markets. So I'm giving a presentation on that. And the vast differences, we all know it. There were huge differences between 2021 and 2017. A lot of them caught me by surprise. Right? It's had to take a humble humility pill on that for some of the stuff that was right and some of the stuff that was wrong. But the only thing we can do on it is to try to figure out what did happen, what was the impacting, and what was the driver. This is the driver. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about in my presentation. And so there you go. Nazario Navarro says, I went on an AI date. She was a no-show. Still not sure why she wanted my social security number and my date of birth. Happy Wednesday, my dudes. Hit that like button. Thank you, Nazario, and thank you for the Wednesday humor. Eric Martinson gifted a BCB membership. Thank you very, very much, Eric. If you get your name turned green, that is from people in the community hooking it up. Jonas Fugalis, teeth grinding, nail biting time. Yeah, with Bitcoin where it's at. Bitcoin at 51,624. Nothing dramatic happening yet. Ryan Chase gifted 5 memberships. Man, Ryan, thank you. Janice, much love. This has been the hardest ride. Fingers crossed that we reach the planned destination. Hopefully you guys held some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, and you weren't sitting there screaming the whole time about it, but caught some of it. Quinchona says, can you look at the XRP over Bitcoin chart? Yeah, straight line down. That's about it. That's what these things end up doing. Then they end up just firing straight back up. We don't chart XRP, or we don't chart altcoins versus Bitcoins ever on these things. If we did, like, there's some of these, there's just how do we? Does that matter? Does that matter? Does that matter? Is it retracement? Does it matter? Does it blast through there? It's not my specialty. Straight line down, though. That's about it. Let's get back on this thing. The big thing of the day. I'll make sure I didn't miss anybody. Thomas, I know you're taking profits on Bitcoin at retrace, but for your altcoins, is it the same gameplay of 65% at retraces and ride 35% potential new all-time highs? Yeah, so like, I was thinking about that today. Where we're kind of at right now, right? Like to make sure that this is what it should be, right? If this thing rejects here and just goes straight line down and S hits the fan and everything is doomtown, then there has to be some level where it's like I got to cut at that point because we've done so much. And essentially, if we take out this low at this point, now that we've set the new high, if we go taking out this low over here in the altcoin market, I have to start taking more off the table and say, you know what, we're just not going to get much out of this thing. I don't think that's the case, right? This is like, if you watch my last two videos, it's acting precisely as it should. The way it wouldn't be is if suddenly the altcoin market turned over and just started going kerplunk again and taking out these levels in here. So if we don't get any type of rally, we don't get anything like that, yeah, I'm going to have to start cutting here and just say, dang. All right. A lot of stuff is way up. And that's why we have, like, if you look at the top 20 by market cap, in the last 5 months, top 20 by market cap, it's up like 39%. So you're not sitting there being like, hey, what are you talking about? Nothing's up. If you're looking at development activity stuff, if you're looking at user activity stuff, all like the averages of user activity are up over 100%. The averages of developer activity over 80%. And some of them up hundreds of percents, like we've shown over there with like Tia and Sui and various other ones, right? But if something goes very sour here at this point, that'll be my cut. Just because we've gotten out, we've gotten to the upside. Now that Bitcoin is teasing up in here, I think there's going to be a pullback, and it looks like we're maybe starting to get something of that. I don't know. We'll see if we hit it now. But in the event that it goes, yeah. But like in this circumstance, like if we get my dream scenario, right? My dream scenario is that if you go rewatch the last two videos, it's that we're doing really what we should be doing. This is really reacting the way it should. That this was the sign of strength. It lasted for a while. Boom. We're now out of the sign of strength. Everything is beautiful in the world, and everybody will be happy and singing Kumbaya and holding hands with each other at some point soon. But that we now get the real push that happens in here into a distribution phase happening here in Bitcoin. And in this circumstance, boom, yes, this is where it will get to 65% cash. And that would especially occur if we really actually did get this structure happening in here. And then we did end up getting that retracement that happens right in there. This would be the cut no matter what, especially like if we're looking for the confluence of events, right? So we're seeing confluence of events happening in some places, but we still haven't gotten all of them yet. Like some of the confluence factors happening, NASDAQ getting to 4.236, Bitcoin getting to the 702 retracement. It's not at the 702 retracement yet, but getting close to it, right? And then if these confluence factors emerge right in here, where this is what ends up occurring while there's just not anything happening in here, right? Like we're showing this. Showing this on here, right? Geez, come on. Right, recognizing that phase, right? If we are in something like that on that first part of distribution happening in here, that's right here. That's what that is taken from, right? Not expecting a tremendous amount to come from the altcoin market in here, expecting it to get into a new high, which we just did today, right? But not expecting a whole lot just yet if there becomes another correction. But then if we start to see it really rampage off and really rampage and go, that's all the confluence signs that you need. Like that's what always ends up happening at the tops. It's always the markers, right? And if those things emerge, it just becomes clear as day. And like I'm really hoping we get that type of moment to emerge, because there become those times where the confluence is so ridiculously strong in this market, you can just scream it from the dang rooftops and everybody will disagree. Everybody will. but I hope that's the kind of scenario we end up getting in here. Nothing tells me we're not yet at all, especially when we have something like that happening. But absolutely, no question, 65% is still the plan. If we can get a very clear way to do it. What I would hate for it to have to be is that S just hits the fan and it's got to be cut. That would suck, but that's just what it would have to be. But there's no signs of that yet. This is all precisely how it should be behaving in here, exactly as it should. So we're still good. But yeah, no question. 65% is still the plan. All right. I'm getting paid from years of being paid. And I'm willing to risk 35. Right? Send it to Fahilla and take my 35 with it. By all means, let it ride. But that's also a number where I'm comfortable as well. To where if it all falls apart and it all hits the fan, well, I took enough off the table and I can live with that. Right? Everybody's got to find that own balance for themselves. Where can you sleep at night with? I've talked about me being in 20% cash, right? That's how I can sleep at night, man. It still exposes the market, but it's helped me be able to sleep at night, right? Being like, you know what? I can see a couple of weird things that could happen. I feel like if I've got to have something on the sidelines to be able to grab it, right? And if that ends up playing out, I can be like, okay, well, I had something on the sidelines kind of prepared for it because I saw it coming. But if we fire to the upside, I'm not going to be pissed off because 80% of my bag is in the market, right? So everybody's got to find those kinds of things for themselves. And those are my numbers that work for me. And for me, up in here, if we get this full-blown distribution, definitely 65% out. Tattooed Bandit, any new thoughts on updates regarding SNT? I don't have any updates from Santiment. I messaged them. They told me they would try to figure out what it is and get back to me, but they haven't gotten back to me. But for me, it's not something I'm going to touch. I got rid of my SNT, which wasn't a tremendous amount, but I got rid of it, fortunately, and no loss. And I just shifted it over into, I don't want to say. I moved it. It's in the money is in the market. It's in top development coins, but I moved it. Something's fishy about it, right? Why is Coinbase delisting it? Why does it have such few daily active addresses? Alexander Matthew, thank you for everything and happy Wednesday. Thank you very much. XRP Ledger taking off soon. Looking to sologenic. Buster says, do you think Solana can surpass Tether's market cap this bull cycle? I don't know. Let's see. What are their market caps? $51.96. Let's do some retracements. So here's where Solana. Oops. Okay. In order to bypass Tether, Solana has to go into a new all-time high for its market cap. That's the million-dollar question, because you're asking that, will it go into a new all-time high while it's right there? If it goes into a new all-time high, yes, it will likely smash through Tether's market cap. If it gets rejected here because Sam Bankman-Fried's company is distributing onto retail investors right here, probably not, right? And I know everybody wants to hear what's going to happen at the retraces. It's literally the thing that I teach on this channel and have since the very beginning. We get back to retraces. Markets retrace. I know you're scared when the prices are low, but markets tend to retrace, right? What they do with the retracement level is the $1,000,000 question, and that's the reason why, even on the intro of my YouTube videos, you see me get up there, get back to it, stand in there, boom, he gets through the retracement levels. But it's such a concern because when you get there, markets can do both things. They can go through it or they can get rejected by them. And that's really the $1,000,000 question. You call this K-shaped recoveries, right? So you get back to it and K-shaped, where half the market goes that way, half the market goes that way. But we get back to them and figuring out what's going to happen from here. I don't know if Solana is going to get through there or not. The thing that Solana has going for it doesn't have tremendous amount of developer activity, and there's concerns on how much of that developer activity is real. However, it has a tremendous amount of user activity, right? It competes up there with Ethereum in regards to user activity levels, at least when it comes to total value locked and when it comes to NFT volume. So massive community, massive amount of people, and user activity levels are very high on Solana. And so that shouldn't be ignored, right? So if this market has a chance to go out, Solana probably has a chance. I just don't know while we're right here. This is the big third range boundary. This is the retracement levels. It's got to prove more. So your question is, will it take out Tether at the $92 billion? It's got to get it to an all-time high. The first thing it has to do is prove, are you getting through there or not? XRP to the moon 11 gifted 1 BCB membership. Thank you very much. I am Zoo. Can you chart XRP? Oh, we do it like every day. We do it every day. We're just waiting. Thank you. Terrence Rafferty, if you were trading the Taylor Swift popularity, will she reach another all-time high or just a 702 retracement? I do not think she'll ever reach another all-time high of what we saw recently. I think this whole NFL thing was very poorly done for her reputation. Silverpunk Skull, can you remind us of your Ethereum price targets again? Well, the question is whether or not Ethereum's in a super cycle or not, and if it's going to catapult significantly higher. First thing I'm watching for is going to be retracement levels, like everything. So get back into retracement levels. That's the first thing I'm watching for. Like if there's one that I have just a feeling on, right? Like it's Ethereum. We've done the whole, I have whole video. I even saw it today. And again, it's one of my least viewed videos. Like you guys, like I'll put out an XRP video and say, hey, it's entirely dependent on Ethereum. So I'm going to put out the Ethereum video next. And you guys need to watch this because everything about this XRP stuff depends on Ethereum. They'll all watch the XRP video. They won't watch the Ethereum video. Ethereum is a big player in this market. If you are an Ethgate person and you have allowed it to get away because you're just holding anger, like Ethereum is the monster of the market. If you don't know that, anybody, everything is practically built on Ethereum. Everything. So, if there's a network effect issue, if there's one that has like any type of chance to like go on and it not be impacted by Bitcoin or it not be impacted by broader markets, but totally by network effects and everything utilizing it as gas, it is probably Ethereum. Retracement levels, the big first thing. If we can get out of there, there's like this crazy off chance that it's going way higher. I don't want to put it on here right now because I don't want. There's way too many moon boys on Bitcoin right now. At this point in time, right now, I need to be like sticking true to what I want to be, which is just there's some concerns about Bitcoin with the price levels that it's at right now. Let's see how this is going to react in here. Then we can start talking about like super cycle weird stuff over there for Ethereum. But the retracement levels are going to be the first place for Ethereum. Stephen Edinburgh, thank you very much, brother. Gets a BCB membership. Thank you, sir. Geo from Atvid. BCB, want to give you an ADA NFT that looks like you. When we launch NFT couples today, can you send us your ADA address? Yeah, go ahead and DM me on Twitter. I'll take a look at it. But I'm not going to promote it for you. Sorry. Chris and Akma. Goat. If one has little or no idea how to develop, what is a good way to support the XRP development initiative? That's a great idea, right? And so, like, I'm the wrong person to ask on that, right? So I can bring awareness to it, but maybe I'll find that out when I go to the XRP Gulf Coast. But right now, and that's one of the things that is so difficult too, is like even trying to get in contact with any developers. I was in a conversation the other day. Someone was like, how do we even know? Like, there isn't many developers. I'm like, have you ever been in the XRPL Discord? Right. So there is an XRPL Discord if you want to go in there. I went in there last week just to say, okay, let me go see this thing. I'm going to go look at it and see what goes on in this XRPL Discord for developers. There's like 2 random people talking in there a day with only 1 message per day. I'm like, it's dead in here. There's nothing in here. And then I was in a space the other day and I was like, somebody said, well, how do you even know? I'm like, well, I mean, how do you know that the numbers in Santiment are true? And how do you know that the numbers over there on developerreport.com are true? And it's like, right, yeah, I don't, right? I have to trust that their processes are correct and that they're doing their best, right? And I go, but something that corroborates is I have been into the XRPL developer Discord. It's dead. There's nobody there. And then Vet from XRP Cafe said, yeah, it actually is very difficult to try to get into contact with the developer and how they've struggled to even find one. And there's just not many. So maybe the first place to at least like throw a hook out there is into the XRPL Discord. So probably search for that on Twitter and find the XRP Ledger Developer Discord. B, sorry if you already answered. What are your thoughts on ICP? I mean, it's right on Santiment. Weren't we looking at it yesterday? Wasn't it number 1 in development activity? Let's go. Massive inflation has hit it really hard for a long time, though. So having to kind of pay attention to the market cap and pay attention to what's happening with the whole market in general, and watching all of that at the exact same time. All-time highs for ICP, so insanely unlikely due to the massive destruction of inflation for such a long time. But right now, it looks strong. Hip Flask. My wife just tripped over whilst doing the ironing. I watched it all unfold. Well, we don't get enough jokes in here. That one's great, Hip Flask. Thank you. My wife would love that one. I'm sure she's listening right now. Did you hear that, honey? My wife just tripped over whilst doing the laundry. I watched it all unfold. All right, Stephen Urban, still teaching TA, LSEG chart. Fib from 2000. What is LSEG? Oh, self-teaching TA. LSEG art fib from 2007 high. Successful backtest on 4.236 with COVID. Could Dow Jones or NASDAQ not do something similar? TA advice, welcome, brother. Yeah, on this one, exceeded. But where are you in time, right? Like, where are you in time right now? What are you going to do beyond that? I wouldn't know what to do with that beyond that, outside of saying, has this thing already popped? And is this a retracement? And how high has this gotten? It's gotten decent, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know where to go beyond that level right there. Unless if you're just going to try to do the same thing all over again. The thing about the NASDAQ and the Dow is we've gone through and we've done wave counts on the Dow several times. So, and when you zoom out on a bigger time period, That's what 100 years looks like, right? Like that is what a full cycle looks like. And like we even have that on like a 3-year time period with Ethereum. You can see it because this one has a full cycle in it. Then the final wave, right? And so wave 4 into wave 5. Wave 5 is very commonly are 4.236 extensions of the wave 4 range, right? And they end with clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's obviously an extended 5, but it's the same thing, right? It's also the same distance. If it goes through there, like that's the reality. Like if it goes through the 4.236 extension for the Dow, if it goes through the 4.236 extension on the NASDAQ, if it goes into all-time high for Bitcoin, we will be in such uncharted waters of everything. And I know we all want more. Oh, dang, did I lose everything on here? There we go. But it's normal to want more when you get this high. This is what the crowd wanted in the 1920s. They wanted more than this right here, but this is all that they got. So, it always could, but it's not my base case. I pray I'm wrong. Don't be fooled. You think I want this for half a second? I don't. Send the thing to Fahila. Don't go destroying people's 401ks. That's not what I'm cheering for. But you have the confluence of events all occurring at the same time, and how ironic for them to happen when measured from different time periods, right? That's one thing to think about and wrap your head around for a minute. This is based off of 2000 to 2002. Did I lose my Dow? I lost the Dow. This is based off of 2007 to 2009. They both get there in the same week. And then Bitcoin, you're getting here in the same week. The thing we talked about for a year and a half, 2 years, 702. Here it is. They're all there within the same week. Magic, simulation, God, the puppet masters, animal spirits, what it could be. I don't know, but it's crazy. Now we're on log. There we go. So 52K for Bitcoin. Travis Hutchinson. Where do the upper fibs sit on the XRP market cap chart? The entire range lasts from 2018. So your top boundary of our entire range for the last 6 years is there in January of 2018. Crypto Tim. What's up, BCB? Thoughts on quant? We're not going to pull up. We're already at an hour and 8 minutes. We're not going to pull up things. I get asked about quant like once a week, maybe. I always say that's a chart. I don't have a clear read on it. It doesn't show up in any user activity levels. It doesn't show up in any development activity reports for me. And the chart is not a favorable chart for me. So I don't own any of it. Eric Martinson. Okay. We're not going to do the, okay, whatever. What's the difference between investing in Bitcoin and getting married? If your marriage fails, you only lose half of your wealth. But all right, that's it, guys. We're wrapping it up. Welcome to dang close to the 702 retracement for Bitcoin. A year and a half of fighting. They said we could never get here. We're here. They, of course, say we can never, ever stop. I hope they're right. But that's going to be it for this one, you guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you're looking for something to do, of course, check out bcbacker.com with over 40 videos and 11 hours of content over here teaching you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators. And my beautiful, beautiful voice for over 11 hours on here. There's downloadable PDFs in here teaching you about crowd behavior, emotional management. I'm certain we are definitely dealing with more outrageous emotions right now. And of course, there's fear, there's excitement, there's a mix of everything when you get to things like this, but keeping it all calm and collect. Very importante. One time, $39, no subscription fees. I do have a subscription-based newsletter over here, Beyond the Developers, where the users are. The last one focused really on user activity levels. And there's a whole lot of other stuff in here. And I will be giving a talk over there at XRP Gold Coast. Link in the description for that one too. Really talking about all this kinds of data in there. So check it out if you would like to have your mind blown. I also run all the numbers. I show you how the performances of those coins have done, how they're doing now, and give you a clear picture of what is important. What is important. But that's it. All right, guys, have an absolutely wonderful day. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could, please like the live stream. Please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember the blockchain backers got your back. Guys, I totally fumbled this exit in this outro. Sorry. First things first, for the 2,000 people who stayed behind.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay. Now let's try again. All right. Wait. All right. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need to pick me up for a little bit of reassurance, just remember the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one. Nailed it.